What is going on to you, crew? Welcome back to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. This is episode 60. I can't believe we're almost at 100. We're way more than halfway there at this point. Now, we got a bunch of good stuff to talk about, a bunch of sports topics. But, of course, I am joined by the great Jake Maltese, the even greater Gage Hall. Sorry, Jake. How are you guys doing?
What the fuck? What did I do? What the hell did I do? Oh my God.
I play.
The hate.
How we doing?
That's all right. I mean, I was doing fine until that comment, but
My bad.
so now I got to recover a little bit. It's all right. You're going to have to make it up to me during the episode at some point, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm ready to go. Got some fun topics for you guys today. Let's fucking do this.
And I was doing fine before that comment, and now I'm doing fantastic. So,
Oh my gosh.
I spent way too much money today. As I told you guys, I bought a brand new laptop. I bought a webcam and all kinds of stuff. I'm not using it just yet. So if you're watching on YouTube, this isn't what it's going to look like. I got to figure some things out, but we'll get there. But hopefully some improvements on the way.
Yeah, and Gage, I really appreciate for our YouTube viewers, obviously, just the matching the hat with the shirt. It's on point. It's perfect. Chef's kiss. As for me, I got a ticket today. I got a parking ticket. So my money is going, great places. Big shout out to whoever created Bud Light Seltzer hard sodas, by the way. Holy shit. I haven't had a bad one yet. They're so good. They're so
Bud
good.
Light, I feel like these seltzers are just getting out of hand with how long the names are getting. Bud Light Seltzer hard soda. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Listen.
just at that Bud hard soda, bam. I shortened it up to 3 fucking words.
Listen,
but they got it.
If you have a couple, you won't be saying the name correctly.
No,
anyway,
I'm sure it's delicious.
Oh,
Maybe
it's
I'll
so
leave.
good.
Maybe I'll leave in the middle of this and go grab one.
Oh yeah.
So I got a beer distributor right by me.
Hey, that's all you need. And in this episode, we are going to discuss our top 10 running backs in the NFL currently after the 2022 season, as well as a little bit of the Super Bowl parade talk. There's a lot of stuff that went down with Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, the whole nine. And then we're going to get into a little bit of NFL trivia. But before that, of course, like always, it is this Guess That Player. I'm going to put a timer on my phone, and we're going to get right into it. You guys could ask me questions. I don't know where my timer app is. Here it is. All right. Are we ready?
I'm good to go.
Ready.
I'll start on your first question.
Did they win the Super Bowl?
They did not win the Super Bowl. No.
Okay.
Did they lose the Super Bowl?
They did lose the Super Bowl
This year.
this year.
Okay. Eli
Big
Apple.
Balls McPherson.
Neither of those.
Offense or defense?
Offense.
Okay. Sorry, or special teams. Can't leave out Evan McPherson in that. Or Kevin Huber. Punters are people too. Offense. Offensive line?
No.
Damn it.
So skill position.
T. Higgins.
Not T. Higgins.
Fuck. Tyler
Is it a
Boyd.
wide receiver?
No.
Samaje P. Ryan.
There it is.
There
There it is.
Fuck.
42 seconds.
I was like, Joe Mixon sounds too obvious.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
let's go with the guy that was in on 4th and 1 for some reason.
Yeah. He has a brother in the league, correct? I think he plays for
Michael P. Ryan.
He plays
Yeah.
for the Jets.
Yeah.
I would try to go with him, but I honestly couldn't remember his first name. So
The
that's why I
only
didn't say
reason
it.
the other
I
P.
know,
Ryan.
yeah, the only reason I know who Michael P. Ryan is because one day, like 4 years ago, I just randomly turned on a Florida football game and he was the running back. Don't know why I still remember that.
You're like, oh shit, Samaje has a younger brother.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I think it was the year after Samaje was drafted and Samaje was supposed to like emerge as the Washington starting running back. Like everybody expected so much great things out of him. That just did not happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen in Washington. I will say, not a Hall of Fame player, but Hall of Fame beard. Hall of Fame beard. I
Great
feel like I've
beard.
been pointing that
Fantastic.
out. I've been pointing that out a lot recently in these episodes.
And I feel
Just,
like the
great
fact
beards.
that he is bald also just like accentuates the beard too. You know, it makes it look so much thicker.
True.
Yes. Now do you think his 4th down catching skills are Hall of Fame worthy?
I think Zach Taylor's 4th down coaching skills need to be put into question for even
Fair point there.
We're putting Samaje P. Ryan in the game.
Or Captain America. Put Captain America in there. Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, huh? All right. Speaking about some running backs, we created our top 10 lists of running backs after the 2022 season. Now, this isn't just from the 2022 season or the 2021 season. Sorry. Obviously, other years are going to be taking effect in our rankings. So I'm going to start off with you, Gage. We did a top 10 and an honorable mention. I figure let's all name our 10s and the 9s and then so on.
Starting with I'll do my honorable mention and then also give my 10. My honorable mention is going to go out to Austin Eckler. I think that he had a fantastic season, great receiving back, put up a lot of touchdowns for them. So he was definitely a big part of that offense. It seemed like he was getting in the end zone every single week, but he didn't end up making my top 10 list just because I feel like his other seasons haven't been quite as good as some of these guys on this list. So at number 10, I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
That's fair. I don't know. Leonard Fournette is a tough one just because he doesn't get the sheer volume that other running backs get. But I do believe it was impressive that he emerged. He finally I didn't think anybody was ever going to emerge from that running back core with the Bucs, but he finally did, as he should have, because he looked like he was going to be one of the best in the game as a rookie. Kind of like I remember
I was clamoring for the Packers to tank so that they could get him in the first round. 2017. Yeah.
That
was a weird
and
time.
then you guys did get a running back in 2017, just happened to be in the fifth round there.
Yeah.
Out of what was it? What is it? Where did Aaron Jones go?
UTSA.
UTSA, yeah. All right. For my honorable mention, I have Austin Eckler of the Los Angeles Chargers. I just couldn't. I can't put him in the top 10. I can't, but he gets an honorable mention because I know I'm just going into this list knowing how many people I'm going to piss off. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. You know why I'm going to piss off people? Because there's 15 top 10 running backs in the NFL. I'm just going to say, it's hard
to narrow it down.
Yeah, there's so many. So, and then at number 10, I don't know if this is cheating, but at number 10, I just put Green Bay running backs because I can't separate AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones because I would take them at the same position, even though they're two completely different styles of running back. I would take them at the same position. Like if I was starting a team, that's how I made this list. If I was starting a team, what running backs would I want in what order? Literally, if I got to AJ Dillon or Aaron Jones, I would be at a stalemate because I wouldn't know which one to pick. So I got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon at number 10, if that's allowed.
Yeah, they both do different things. They're such a good thunder and lightning combo.
Yeah,
they're a good 1-2 punch. And that's funny because my honorable mention is the guy who I'm repping right now, Mr. Mayor of Door County, AJ Dillon. I've grown to love this guy out of Boston College. He's an old school running back. He's an old school running back playing in a new school era, and it's just nice to see. This is going to be the first wild card of the podcast, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but Javonte Williams is my number 10 running back from the Denver Broncos. Yeah, Javonte Williams. You listen. Okay. Javonte Williams looked like a polished Nick Chubb on his carries, a polished Nick Chubb level. You saw the potential there. And I'm not speaking out of my ass or anything. Every single time I looked at red zone and it was the Denver Broncos, it was Javonte Williams trucking over somebody and running for 50 yards, for 40 yards every single time. And I wholeheartedly believe there Jake goes. I think he was a better rookie running back than Najee Harris too. 100%. Najee Harris just had the benefit of getting a million more touches than Javonte Williams because Javonte Williams was splitting carries with Melvin Gordon. And yeah, they had similar stats, but Javonte Williams just provided a spark that Melvin Gordon couldn't. 4.4 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. I know it's a hot take. I understand that, but I think Javonte Williams is a top 10 running back right now as we speak. And I think he's only going to, raise his stock in the coming years.
Honestly, at 10, I don't hate that. I don't hate him there. I think that the Nick Chubb comparison is a little bit much for me, but Javonte Williams at 10, I don't think is bad. I mean, 900 yards, 4 touchdowns, like you said, 4.4 yards per attempt isn't bad, especially splitting carries. So I'll take it. I definitely think that he's going to be a guy in the league.
I meant less polished Nick Chubb, by the way. I totally said polished. I meant less polished.
All right. Whoa. There we go.
I meant less polished.
That makes it better. That makes you saved yourself there. Because you were like, polished Nick Chubb. I was like, is Nick Chubb not polished? I was like, what?
Nick Chubb, if he was better.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams. At number 9 for me, I have Ezekiel Elliott. And we talked a little bit about this before the podcast, that, he's still a solid running back in the league, but I do think that he's just he's not what he was. You know what I mean? Not that rookie sophomore Ezekiel Elliott that we saw jump into the Salvation Army bucket and all that stuff. He's just not that guy anymore. And they have a similar thing to like the Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon thing going on with him and Tony Pollard, where they're kind of a 1-2 punch. And I think that works well for them, but Ezekiel Elliott just as himself, I don't think is enough to really be any higher on this list for me right now. Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott hype has kind of, I don't know. It's gotten out of hand because he came in the league with guns a-blazing. He really did. I mean, he had one of the best rookie seasons that running back has had in a while, in my opinion. But he's just never returned to that. It's not the same guy I saw hunting down Cam Chancellor in a fucking preseason game. Like I just haven't seen that Ezekiel Elliott since his first and second year. But yeah, at number 9, I have Najee Harris, rookie. Speaking of rookies, listen, the yards per carry aren't there. They were never going to be there with that offensive line. But Gage, as you mentioned before we started recording, he led the league in broken tackles. This guy, listen, he was in high school. People knew this guy was going to be in the NFL. He was just bigger, stronger than everybody. Of course, he ends up going to Alabama and dominating there. And now he's in the NFL. If he gets a better O-line, there's no doubt in my mind this guy can have 1,500 yards rushing, just because they're not going to have a quarterback next year. So it's all going to be on Najee Harris because that their entire I would not be surprised if Najee Harris had 1,500 yards rushing next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he had over 2,000 scrimmage yards. I'm not kidding. He catches the ball. He catches the ball really well, and he's going to be in their entire offense next year.
Yeah, they definitely got to fix the O-line though.
Yeah,
they have to
of course.
put all of their focus into that.
Najee 100%. Had just under 400 touches last season, and honestly, but the way the team is looking with such a question mark at quarterback, you could definitely see him eclipsing that 400 mark.
Yeah.
That's not
that's
good,
scary though, because
I don't like that.
It's
because we see a guy down in Carolina that's catching up with them.
Yeah, you wonder why Ezekiel Elliott isn't what he used to be, is because Dallas literally ran him into the ground, and now you're seeing the same thing with Christian McCaffrey and even Derrick Henry. They're starting to have injuries build up, and that's why you're starting to see more of a 2 running back personnel for a lot of these teams. You have to have that 1-2 punch just in case injuries. Because
the one thing on Najee Harris's side is the similarity between Zeke and C-Mac is that Christian McCaffrey and Ezekiel Elliott both got run into the ground in college too, because they were the best players on their team in college. I know that Ohio State team won national championships, so you can make an argument there, but they were very, very, very utilized in college. Najee Harris, Alabama, no matter who the running backs are, always has the tendency to split carries and not put as much pressure on one guy. Yeah. This was the big thing coming out about Josh Jacobs when Josh Jacobs got drafted in the first round. Every draft analyst was being like, oh, he didn't get ran into the ground like Christian McCaffrey. Now we see how Josh Jacobs is doing. But
same thing with Derrick Henry, really. Yeah. It was him and Bo Scarborough kind of splitting carries at that time.
Bo Scarborough, what a name. What a name.
He fits that team though. I mean, he kind of is a Derrick Henry build, just like
he is. He's so a monster, man.
I'm surprised that you guys were so low on Austin Eckler, because we were talking before the podcast. I'm low on Austin Eckler, and even I have him in my top 10 at least. I have him at 9. I'm not as high on him as some other people are. Didn't eclipse the 1,000 yards rushing mark, but 12 rushing touchdowns and 8 receiving touchdowns. Had a couple fumbles in there, had a couple mishaps, but he's shifty. He's great catching the ball out of the backfield. He's the modern day running back who can catch, who can run. He could be a bell cow when I almost said workhorse, same thing. Bell cow, workhorse, same thing. When you need him to be, he can do a lot of things. I don't love him. Like I said, I feel like he's more of a better, a 2 running back than he is at 1. Like when Melvin Gordon was there and he was the number 2, I loved Austin Eckler, but now that Austin Eckler's kind of taking the reins, not as high on him. But yeah, I got Austin Eckler number 9.
I think that's solid. I like Austin Eckler a lot. I just think it because of injuries and stuff like that the past couple of seasons, that kind of makes him take a dip for me.
True.
At number 8, I have Aaron Jones here. I think that Aaron Jones is still a very solid back. Obviously, we saw his production take kind of a hit this year just because they were splitting a lot more between him and A.J. Dillon. But, I mean, we're talking about a guy that led the league in touchdowns. We're talking about a guy that had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. We're talking about a guy that is very talented and a more than capable running back, and I think that he definitely deserves to be in this spot.
Love it.
Yeah. It was tough for me not to put one of them in my top 10, but it just
so you just put back.
I know. It was just, I couldn't separate them, so I had to put them both at 10. At number 8, I got the guy I was talking about a little while ago, Ezekiel Elliott. Listen, no matter how much you can certify me as an Ezekiel Elliott hater, because I'll take it. I'll wear it on my chest. But at the end of the day, I still do think he's a top 10 running back. He doesn't have quite the offensive line he had when he was in his earlier years, but he's still a very good running back that you would be fortunate to have on your team. I think there's a lot of guys that I would rather have at this point than Ezekiel Elliott. And I don't know how many. I don't think he's as good as people still think he is. And I think he gets a little overhyped nowadays. And so I don't think he's a top 5 running back anymore. There was a time where that was like unanimous he was, but that I just don't think that's that time anymore. I think he's bottom of the top 10 tier type of running back, but that's still a good running back in the NFL. So I got him at 8.
Yeah. I can't put Zeke in my top 10. Sorry. Spoilers. Zeke is not in my top 10. I've just seen too big of a drop off. I have Javonte Williams over Ezekiel Elliott. That's how low I think of Ezekiel Elliott. He came into the league and he was automatically the best running back in the league back in 2016. Remember his rookie year? He walk off screen 70-yard pass against the Steelers. That was insane. At number 8, I have Aaron Jones. Now, Aaron Jones took a little bit of I'd say a hit to his carries, to his touches this year because of the emergence of A.J. Dillon. And of course that resulted in him, getting less yards on the ground. Like he was just at 800 this season on only 171 carries, and he had 200 plus the previous 2 years. So he is sort of like a 1A running back, whereas A.J. Dillon is a 1B running back. They use him the same. I mean, that's literally why Jake just put them together in his rankings. Aaron Jones still gets the job done. He's amazing out of the backfield. He's amazing catching the ball. He's kind of like another wide receiver having on the field because he runs such great routes. You could trust him when you throw the ball. You could throw him up contested balls. Like he'll go up and he'll make a play. I've seen him do it countless times. Not so many big plays this year as there were in previous seasons, but Aaron Jones still definitely a top 10 running back as long as he still gets the touches, because I know A.J. Dillon is coming and I know he's going to take away from Aaron Jones, but as long as Aaron Jones gets he's a top 10 running back, no doubt in my mind.
I know that you were happy to see Aaron Jones come back, but I thought that they should have let him go last offseason, and I think that he would have been fantastic on the Dolphins. That's just me.
Well, they backloaded his contract, so he's not making a ton this season.
Yeah, I know. So it wasn't like horrible to bring him back as of now, but
do you think that's they're just preparing to trade him because of
absolutely probably either trade or cut, one of the two. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not going to keep him throughout the whole contract. At number 7, I have a guy who, Jake, you and I were talking about it before we got started here. Him having 1,200 yards behind an absolutely atrocious offensive line, Joe Mixon looked phenomenal this year.
Wow.
Joe Mixon, I think, has been a very talented running back for a long time, but this isn't the first season that he's dealt with a horrible O-line, but he also didn't have a quarterback to help him out really in Andy Dalton. He hasn't had the pieces around him to help him look good. He hasn't had the receiving core and stuff like that until recently. Basically, he just hasn't had an offense to help him do what he needs to do. And now he does, and you see what comes of that. 1,200 yards. I mean, he looked fantastic. Even throughout the playoffs and even in the Super Bowl, he looked really, really good, which is why we joked at the beginning of the episode, like, why is Samaje Perine in on 4th and 1 when Joe Mixon is on the team? But Joe Mixon, I think, absolutely deserves to be here, and I think that he has the potential to move up if they fix that O-line.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Mixon, especially, they should have given him more carries in the Super Bowl. What do you get, 13 or something like that? Yeah, he should have gotten way more than that. Moving on to my number 7, I have Christian McCaffrey. This is a guy that was pretty unanimously like top 2 running backs in football just last year, year before that. Like, it wasn't long ago, but the injuries are just, they're happening too much now. And I'm starting to believe. At first I thought they were just flukes, but they can't be just flukes at this point. It's got to be kind of related to him getting so many touches early on in his career, because people forget he didn't miss a single game for his first 3 seasons in the NFL. 16 games played every single year. So he was not injury prone. He's not always been injury prone. He's just recently been kind of injury prone. And I think it has a lot to do with how much, tread is on his tires at this point in his career, but he's still a phenomenal running back, top 3 in the league when he's at his best.
I think that's a hot take. I think that's hot. I understand injuries 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Having him that low, you think is a hot take?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I mean,
I just couldn't at this point, can you trust Christian McCaffrey to play a full season after the past 2 years? I can't.
Mean, no, but I'm not saying that about really any player in the NFL, to be honest. Like,
there's a few I would. There's a few.
I don't know.
Nick Chubb, I could trust Nick Chubb to play a full season. He just got injured for the first time this year. Like, he usually always plays.
He dealt with injuries last year too, didn't he?
Did he?
I thought he missed some games.
Yeah.
I thought he missed quite a few games because he would have been. Yeah. I mean, I think he would have had a season comparable to Derrick Henry last year if he actually played the full season.
Yeah, he played 12
if I remember
games
correctly.
2020 and 14 this season.
But I will hold off on my Christian McCaffrey comments until I get to him on my list, and I'll explain why.
Whoa, you have Christian McCaffrey on your list? What?
Yep,
oh my gosh.
At my number at my number 7 now, I have Alvin Kamara. And who would have thought? Yeah, for those of you listening, I messed up. I thought, never mind. So at number 7, I have Alvin Kamara, and I sort of group Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, and Austin Eckler into like the same group of running backs where they're not outstanding top of the top elite at one particular thing. They're sort of a jack of all trades where they could catch out of the backfield. They could run it. They could be your bell cow if you need them to be. That being said, none of those 3 guys rush for over 1,000 yards as a running back. And I know the running back position has evolved and there's so much more to do. I mean, receiving out of the backfield has become, an essential part of game plans, just as much as like running with your quarterback has become such an essential part of some game plans for some teams. But yeah, Alvin Kamara, still great. That is when he's not, leaving a club or whatnot. I won't get into that. No, Alvin Kamara is great when the ball is in his hands. There's no doubt. One of the shiftiest players. I mean, I think he probably has the best balance out of any player in the NFL. You just look at some of the drills that he does, just standing one-legged on a yoga ball, upside down, blindfolded, catching different color sticks, and he can't see which color sticks there are. He has like a sixth sense, I swear, Alvin Kamara does. Side note, he's also another running back that I wanted the Packers to take after they didn't get Leonard Fournette, but that didn't happen as well.
Fun fact, I didn't want him when we got him. We had just picked up Adrian Peterson in free agency, and I was like, why the hell are we taking another running back? But that is perfect because Alvin Kamara is my number 6 running back on my list. And a lot of people might be surprised by that coming out of the Saints fan. But I think that I have genuine reason for that. A bit of a dip in production this season, which it makes sense. He loses his quarterback. The game plan changes a bit. Our offensive line has hurt a lot of the year. So not having those pieces around him, obviously his production is going to take, a bit of a dive. But I do think that he is a very talented running back. Obviously, he's not going to rush for over 1,000 yards because he just isn't used in that way. He doesn't get enough touches like these guys that we've talked about with like Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and all those other guys. And I like that because I think that, hopefully if he doesn't catch a charge, we'll be able to keep him around for a lot longer, being that we're not running into the ground that way. But he does exactly what we need him to do when we need him to do it. But I just don't think he has the production for me to be able to put him above these other guys that I have on my list.
Yeah. And number 6 on my list, I am going to go with Alvin Kamara.
What?
Crazy. So many of us on the same page. Alvin Kamara, listen, he's great. He hasn't had 1,000-yard rushing season yet, but I would damn near put him in the same conversation as a wide receiver. Like when Alvin Kamara is on the field, you have a wide receiver and you have a running back on the field at the same time, which was Le'Veon Bell's argument to the Steelers of why he wanted a major contract. And that obviously did not happen. But Alvin Kamara, his legal troubles aside, and whether he will be on the field to start the season aside, Alvin Kamara is definitely a top 10 running back in this league. And I think the Saints are very, is he going to be as magical without Sean Payton there? I don't know, but I hope he is, because this guy, he's a freak talent.
That's a big question, because Sean Payton, a great offensive mind, was able to scheme him up in such great ways. I mean, Dennis Allen obviously was there, but
yeah.
Well, we are maintaining our offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael. And I mean, he's been there through a lot of it. I'm sure he picked up plenty from Sean Payton. So I think he'll do decent.
Is Dennis Allen calling plays?
I doubt it. It'll probably be Carmichael calling the offensive plays and stuff.
Okay, that's fair then. At number 6, I have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was one of the more overrated players in the league last season. I thought he had just very quiet 1,000-yard seasons that weren't really memorable, I guess because the Bengals were so bad. But in reality, he's a damn good running back. He has been for quite some time now. And I was overlooking him, I'll admit. Absolutely overlooking him. He had just a monster season this year. Over 1,200 yards, career high. 13 rushing touchdowns, as well as, 3 receiving touchdowns through the air. He was everything that the Bengals could have asked for and then some, even though he was dealing with some legal troubles. Like right before he got into the league, he sort of shaped out, which is really great to see, because he's emerged as one of the best running backs in the NFL. I don't know why the fuck we're putting Samaje Perine in for so many plays. It makes no sense. That's why I picked Samaje Perine for this guess that player, because it makes no sense. Zach Taylor. Well, get him off the team. I can't look at Samaje Perine the same after that. I mean, it wasn't even a great pass, but still can't be in there in that situation.
Yeah. Fun facts. In fantasy this year, I traded Joe Mixon in a package for DeAndre Hopkins. So
fantastic. Bad beat.
Yeah, it didn't go that well for me. But at my number 5 spot, I have a guy who a lot of people, I'm sure, didn't want to trade whatsoever in fantasy this year, because year after year, he is absolutely fantastic in Dalvin Cook, running back for the Vikings. And just like I said, year after year, the production is there. He plays very well for that team. He's a huge part of that offense. And I think that, he deserves to be in this spot. That might be a little low for some people, because I know for the past few years, a lot of people have looked at him as like a top 3 running back, maybe even top 2 in some cases. But with some other guys in the league right now doing the things that they're doing, I had to bump him down a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're absolutely insane for putting Dalvin Cook that low. But then again, I put Christian McCaffrey, but whatever. We all have our opinions. At number 5, I also have the Mixon man himself. I got Joe Mixon at number 5. Luke, I had the same thoughts as you. I thought he was always overrated because of his quiet 1,000-yard seasons on an absolutely atrocious Cincinnati Bengals team the previous couple of years. But Joe Mixon shut me the hell up in the playoffs this year. Like national television, Joe Mixon, he showed up to play every single game. He was one of the best players for the Bengals.
He was the best quarterback in the Super Bowl. Let's be real.
Wouldn't go that far.
Touchdown pass.
Wouldn't go that far. But Joe Mixon, listen, he's really good to run behind that O-line. Given that O-line is way better at run blocking than they are at pass blocking. That's pretty apparent. But Joe Mixon, definitely a guy who made a name for himself in these playoffs. I know Cincinnati fans are probably out there like, we knew this. We knew he was this good. Okay, well, you play in a small market. Okay, so you can't help. So we can't help but not watch your guy all the fucking time. Okay, get over it. But anyway, I got Joe Mixon at 5.
Yeah, Joe Mixon is quite the stud.
Yes.
I have Christian McCaffrey at my number 5, and it feels kind of weird just even having him this low, considering the season that he had in 2019. with the 1,000 yards rushing, the 1,000 yards receiving. But listen, I made a video I talked about it on live a while back that you sort of have to like evaluate Christian McCaffrey the same way that you evaluate Saquon Barkley. There's such like elite athletic talents that aren't able to show off their talent because they're injured so often. That being said, I would 1,000,000,000% take Christian McCaffrey over Saquon Barkley any day of the week because Christian McCaffrey actually showed me something after his rookie year, which is crazy to think about. Imagine Saquon Barkley not doing that. Sorry, Jake. I know that's hurting you.
Come on, like Christian's C-Max had a better line. He's had a better line.
That's fair, but yeah, maybe not by much,
by a lot.
Yeah,
but it was better.
Yeah, but Christian McCaffrey, when healthy, like you said, is one of the most elusive, one of the most electric running backs in the league. You know, big emphasis on the when healthy part because we haven't seen it in quite some time. I mean, if he doesn't play a full season this year, like genuinely probably gonna have to move him out of the top 10. And honestly, with just him not being able to play right now, you can make a legitimate argument that he has the worst contract in the NFL. Being the highest paid, just not being able to play. I mean, it's unlucky, but it is what it is. You have to call a spade a spade. It's just, I mean, it's unfortunate is what it is. But yeah, I have Christian McCaffrey at my number 5 spot.
The one thing I will say about that point though is it's very much unlike. Okay, I don't think you could say it's the worst contract in the NFL when Jared Goff's making over $100 million, but but the one thing about Christian McCaffrey is at least with his contract, when he plays, he's still Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? Like when Todd Gurley got his contract, when he played, he was not Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Like Christian McCaffrey is still putting up, 2 touchdown games, 60 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing when he
Christian
plays
McCaffrey's
nowadays.
Eating Snickers bars and obviously, yeah.
They're stealing my thunder here.
Damn, I got it before you?
Damn.
No, I'm saying Jake is stealing my points about Christian McCaffrey when I get to that
I'm sorry.
point. But I'm not there yet. At my number 4 spot, and I don't know how people are going to feel about this one either. I feel like it's a good spot for him as of right now. 332 rushing attempts, 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, most yards per game with 106.5 and over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Jonathan Taylor is at my number 4 spot right now. And I know that people are going to be mad about that. He played very well toward the end of last season and then had a phenomenal season this year as well. Came in second place for Offensive Player of the Year. But the guys that I have above him, I think is for good reason. There's going to be one that people are going to be pissed off about, but the other 2, I feel like there is more than enough case for.
That leads perfectly into my number 4 running back, who is Mr. Jonathan Taylor. Luke, I'm so sorry.
This is so sad.
Listen, I'm gonna give you my thought process. First of all, I'm saying Jonathan Taylor is a top 5 running back in the NFL. That's a very high honor to get that, to be put in that class of running backs. So here's my thought process. He's only done it 1 year. Really? Okay. He had a good rookie year. Nothing crazy. I wouldn't say it was anything insane. And he has maybe the best run blocking offensive line in the NFL. So those are my points that I'm looking at right now. I don't think those are the reasons for his success. I think he's a very talented running back who would have this success regardless. I'm just saying that offensive line probably got him like 200 more yards. Maybe. I think that's fair to say. Like 100, 200 more yards is due to that offensive line. And I just need to see more. I need to see more than one season. If he comes out next season and he does the same thing, puts up 1,700 yards, then we're talking about him for top 3, top 2 running back in the NFL. But I just need to see more. But right now he's at number 4 for me.
That hurts me. That hurts me deep inside. It really does. So I guess almost 1,200 rushing yards in his rookie year wasn't anything crazy, but
at that point, we've seen people get 1,200 yards in the rookie year. It's not like crazy.
I mean, I guess.
When Phillip Rivers is your quarterback, of course they're going to rely on you to run the ball a little more.
Dude, that's so weird. We need to do an episode of just like, remember when this happened? Like fucking Adrian Peterson signing with the Saints, or
that's true.
Like we need to do an episode like that. At my number 4 spot, I have the man that just single-handedly just kills my team almost every time that we see him, and that is Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has been so great for so long now. Like it's actually insane. If I don't know where my stats just went, where I pulled him up. Dalvin Cook was just ridiculous, and he's been dealing with injuries the past couple of years, and he's still been elite as elite as they come. I mean, 1,500 rushing yards last season, and he played 14 games. This season, he had almost 1,200 rushing yards. And he played 13 games. This guy has been so electric with the ball, so elusive. He just makes one cut and bam, you're done. And he's just too fast for the rest of the crowd there. He was a little banged up to start off his career in Minnesota. He only played a handful of games his first couple seasons, but ever since then he's just taken off. 1,100 yard season, almost a 1,600 yard season. He was close. He was closing in on that 2,000 scrimmage yards mark back in 2020. He was just a couple hundred yards short, maybe not even. Dalvin Cook has been elite. He is one of the reasons why I think the Vikings are in a really good spot moving forward. I think he makes that big three what it is, and call it a big three if you want. Like Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and Dalvin Cook are big three in my opinion. He's been just great, and there's nothing you could really say otherwise. He's just outstanding, and he's a top 4 running back. Probably would have had him a little bit higher last year. I think I definitely had him a little bit higher last year.
Yeah.
But obviously some guys rose in my list. So yeah, I got him at 4.
At number 3. I'm ready to piss people off, but you guys should have known that it was coming at some point or another because I hadn't mentioned him yet. I have Christian McCaffrey still as a top 3 running back in the league.
I think that's fair.
That's fair. And a lot of and a lot of it is for the reasons that you were saying just a few minutes ago, Jake. When Christian McCaffrey is on the field, he is still one of, if not, I think that genuinely, and I'm not going to say that I can put him above Derrick Henry right now, and that's because of the injuries. But when we've seen him on the field, and especially like that 2019 season, having 2,000 yards from scrimmage, 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, I feel like that's comparable to Derrick Henry. Just last season, people were talking about these two guys as 1A, 1B. It was very hard to put one over the other. And just to give you guys an idea, even this season, only playing 7 games, 99 rushes for 442 rushing yards, only 1 touchdown, but he put up 63 yards per game rushing, and he put up 49 yards per game receiving. That is still over 100 yards per game in the games that he played this year. So the health is definitely an issue. And if it persists, then I'm definitely going to have to move him down. But if they can get this guy healthy, if they can get the O-line in decent shape, I think that he comes back and he continues to look like Christian McCaffrey.
I think the best thing they could do for Christian McCaffrey's career right now is go out, and if they think Chuba Hubbard's the guy to be that 1-2 punch with C-Mac, then go ahead and do that. But I don't know if I saw enough out of Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like they're too similar players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you need a power back to pair with him.
Exactly what I was going to say. I think that they need to go out in the second, third round of this draft this year, go out and draft a power back. Because right now, Christian McCaffrey, you see the forest through the trees. Like, you see what's going to happen with him if you just completely put your offense on his back for the next couple of years. He's not going to last. So if you want to prolong his career, you got to get another running back.
You know who would work perfect with Christian McCaffrey? And I don't know if he's actually a free agent this year. Jamal Williams would look real good in a Carolina Panthers uniform. I'm just saying.
He's not. He signed a multiple-year contract.
Yeah, and they're not going to want to move him. I think that they got their 1-2 punch. They've got DeAndre Swift. So, they're going to want to keep him there. But I think that would be good if they were able to make that happen.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple guys in the draft they can go out and get this year that would be a good pairing with him.
Yeah. I also think the Broncos I've been hearing some noise here and there that they're potentially willing to move on from Melvin Gordon and just have Javonte Williams be the guy. So I think that Melvin Gordon, if he lands in Carolina, that could be really good also.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that. Moving on to my number 3 running back, I have Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, the man of very, very few words, but man, can he fucking ball. This guy is just your old school, not going to say anything, just going to show you, put his talent, put the tape out on the field, and he's just one of the best. He's one of the best. He's one of the most consistent. He's all reliable, Nick Chubb. And listen, this guy, you got to give him credit for bouncing back from a this guy would have been a top 10 pick in the NFL draft if not for that horrific knee injury in college. And for bouncing back from that and just coming and having the NFL career that he was supposed to have before that injury, it's very nice to see, because a lot of guys thought that it would be a very similar situation to kind of what happened with Jalen Smith. Like Jalen Smith was supposed to be, top 5 pick in the draft, goes out bowl game, blows his knee. That kind of changed the landscape of college football. But Nick Chubb was kind of on that same radar of like, oh my God, is this going to happen with him? And it didn't, thankfully. And I think he's the top 3 running back in the NFL. And I think the stats back it up. And I think a lot of people back it up. He's a beast.
1000%. Nick Chubb he's like a more athletic Jim Brown, to be honest with you. That's how I look at it.
I think like you need to stop making analogies.
He's like a less polished Javonte Williams.
Yeah,
if you really think about it,
he is.
He's like if you got the Walmart version of Rashad Penny, like that would be Nick Chubb.
All right, we all know who number 1 is going to be on Jake's list, by the way.
Haven't said him yet.
If it weren't for like 2 guys, really one guy in particular, I could make a solid argument that Nick Chubb is the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
But I can't right now, and that's why I have him at number 3. Nick Chubb, get this. All right, rookie year. And this is behind like not too crazy of an offensive line in 2018. It really got better in 2019 and as time went on. 5.2 yards per carry as a rookie. Then he went in 2019, 5 yards a carry, 2020, 5.6, and then 2021, 5.5. That's like unheard of. That is unheard of. He has the perfect mix of speed, power, and like catching ability and receiving ability that you would want in a running back. He is great in between, the trenches and between the gaps. You can run him on the outside. He can outrun everybody. We've seen it multiple times before, and he'll just lay the boom when he needs to. Not entirely like, he's not the shiftiest. He's not a Dalvin Cook, or he's not like an Alvin Kamara, but damn, could he just do a lot of other things. He's been great for so long now. I used to argue that he's the best pure running back in the NFL. And then I realized last year, I was like, what the fuck does that even really mean? So
everybody started saying that.
So yeah, I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? He's like that. Why don't you just say he's the best then? I can't say that right now. So I'll put him at 3, but I don't think there's really any doubt in my mind that he could raise his stock moving forward. He's incredible. The perfect running back for the Browns organization as well. He feels like a Brown. Remember we were saying how like some other players feel like they're on the right team. Nick Chubb is one of those players.
Yeah, I feel that. And I mean, he's my number 2. Nick Chubb is my number 2 running back, and I feel like you guys pretty much said it all. But just to add a little more to that, this is going to be my crazy analogy here. Nick Chubb is like the Aaron Rodgers of running backs. He's not putting up the biggest numbers like a Tom Brady per se, but he has been the most efficient running back year after year when you look at the yards per attempt and stuff like that, even the broken tackles. He just is super efficient constantly with the touches that you're giving him. And I feel like the biggest thing is that he's just not getting as many touches as maybe some other guys are. But you look at his stats, I mean, almost 1,500 yards in 2019, over 1,000 in 2020, even after only playing 12 games, and then 14 games this season. And he had over 1,200 yards. And I mean, yards per game was crazy, 93, 88, 89. So the guy has been phenomenal.
I think there's a solid argument to be made that if the Browns didn't have Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, we would be saying Nick Chubb is the best running back in football right now. And I know Kareem Hunt's been like injured throughout this entire season, and then Dearness Johnson had to step up in some games, but like that's probably the best 1-2 combo in the league, in my opinion. Also, side note, not enough toes that are being shown in interviews, so I don't like that analogy too much. I haven't seen too many toes.
I'm sorry.
It's a fair point.
Yeah,
it's a fair point. No, it's definitely a stat you got to keep track of.
Yeah, for sure. You got me there. I can't. I have no rebuttal to that. I'll work on my analogies going forward.
Yeah. Number 2. I have a guy that is in the same division as that toe showing man up there in Green Bay. I have Dalvin Cook in number 2. Listen, he's been a stud. I really worried about the injury issues the first couple of years of his career, but man, did he shut me up 1,500 yards. And he comes out, what do you have? 1,200 yards this year, 1,100 yards this year. So he doesn't play every game. He's not going to play every game, but he's played like 14, 13 games over the past couple seasons, which is fine. That's how much you want for your running back. And listen, there are very few guys that could keep that could keep Alexander Mattison on the bench, and Dalvin Cook is one of them. So Dalvin Cook is one of the most electric players I've ever watched in the football, and he is every bit and piece of just a monster at running back, and he is the entire Vikings offense because Kirk Cousins ain't doing much in the clutch. So yeah, I got Dalvin Cook too.
That's a little surprising. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like Cousins slander though. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, because he put like Kirk Cousins, he puts up all these stats. Like he had amazing numbers this year, but what did he do with them? Nothing. It's empty calories. It's nothing. He doesn't do shit.
Kirk Cousins, I feel like this is a whole nother like conversation.
Yeah,
I feel like Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, Derek Carr. You put any of them on opposite teams, on each other's teams, they're all getting the same results. Change my mind.
I would agree. Maybe not. Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. I don't know.
They're all in that same kind of range.
Yes, I would agree with
like
that.
where you would rank them. So
they're like fringe top 10, fringe top 10, above average.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we call this part of the show giving Luke a few minutes to just gush about his favorite player in the NFL, and that is Jonathan motherfucking Taylor. Oh my God. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I saw all the time in Wisconsin. Didn't have the success that I wish we had. God damn it, Ohio State. I know you felt that one, Jake. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor has been a stud forever. And to be honest, sometimes I just feel like he's playing the wrong sport. Like, I'm so thankful he plays football, but he could legitimately be a track star. He could probably be running in the fucking Olympics for all I know. He's that fast. He is that quick with the ball in his hands. When you give him an open field, have fun trying to catch up to him, because you are not. This guy was a track star in high school, and then throughout college at Wisconsin, he was outstanding. 1,800 yards. That's almost 2,000. Well, not quite, but almost 2,000. He went over the 2,000 scrimmage yards mark. He had just under 2,200 scrimmage yards. And how could you argue with 20 touchdowns? 20 touchdowns. This guy was in MVP conversations for, a quick minute for a cup of coffee, but didn't quite get it because running backs will never be respected ever. Jonathan Taylor has been ridiculous. And this is exactly what the Colts offense should look like. They have such a ridiculously talented offensive line at every single position. There's not a weakness. I wish Andrew Luck could have been playing behind this offensive line, but they did not give a fuck. Finally, they're starting to care a little bit. And Jonathan Taylor, you're starting to see the benefits of having a solid offensive line. And I'm not saying that all of Jonathan Taylor's stats are a product of their offensive line, but Jonathan Taylor does benefit from it. And it's just a perfect combination of the two, because you're looking at just open holes in seemingly every single rush that he had. And Jonathan Taylor is probably the quickest player on the field when he's not, on the field at the same time as, like, I don't know, Tyreek Hill or someone. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor was a monster. I didn't expect this MVP level season to come, but I also didn't expect someone else to, go down with a season-ending injury that cost him a 2,000-yard season, who I'll get to in a second. So I'm sure we all have the number. I actually know we all have the number one running back the same. So
it's just we all have Derrick Henry at number one. I have Derrick Henry at number one.
Whoa.
Don't.
Whoa.
You do.
I know. I said he has Rashad Petty at number one. There's still a chance.
But we should all have Derrick Henry at number one. It's just it's not even that I want to make an argument for it. It's just too much of a pain in the ass to make an argument against it at this point. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry is a phenomenal player who plays extremely well when he's on the field. And even this season, in only 8 games, we heard about it forever. Well, Derrick Henry hasn't played in like 4 weeks, and he still leads the league in rushing yards and this and that. Exactly. Like, we couldn't escape it. It was constantly around, but phenomenal player. He still had 937 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns, still had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage this year. And that doesn't even count the past 2 seasons where he obviously led the league in rushing yards and all that stuff as well.
He was going for 2,000 again this year. Like, I think we all know it.
Well over.
We all know it
with the extra.
I think he would have broken the record this year. I think like Derrick Henry is just a different type of beast. And I just like about that MVP thing that you brought up, Luke. It's gotten to a point where a quarterback can throw 40 touchdowns and like single digit interceptions, and they're just a lock for the MVP. Mm-hmm. The overinflation of quarterbacks, like, it's just ridiculous because Derrick Henry puts up a 2,000-yard season, the quietest 2,000-yard season in the history of anything. Like, nobody was talking about the fact that Derrick Henry could get 2,000 yards. I just like found out. I got an ESPN notification on my phone that day. It was like, oh, Derrick Henry rushes for over, because the 9th player ever to rush for 2,000 yards. I was like, who the fuck? Nobody was talking about this. Nobody was talking about this, that he could get it. Christian McCaffrey, same thing. 1,000, quietest 1,000 season ever. I think he was the 3rd player ever to do that. So it's just like running backs are so ridiculously.
Christian McCaffrey was like 3rd or 4th in Offensive Player of the Year voting.
Lamar Jackson, to be fair, just had a stupid season.
He did.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
But he could have gotten Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, also, Michael Thomas exists.
That's fine. Did Michael Thomas do something that only 3 people in history have ever done? I don't. What are we? Wait. Yes, he broke the reception. He got a lot of balls thrown his way. People. Oh my God, Michael Thomas caught a lot of footballs. Holy shit. He had a lot of footballs thrown his way.
Amount of slants run in a season.
He caught the most 5-yard receptions in history.
Holy shit.
I'm just kidding. Like, Michael Thomas is a great receiver. I'm not taking away anything from him, but he got volume. He got
top 10 right now. Top 10. I need to
Michael
hear
Thomas.
Hear it. Top 10.
Michael Thomas when healthy.
Michael Thomas. 100 fucking
percent. Yes.
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not insane.
5 receiver when healthy. Top 2, not 2. No,
okay,
top.
Now you're just being a Saints.
No, top 5, 110% though. That's not even a joke. That's not biased. That is dead.
We'll do this another day.
Yeah, we'll get there. Next week, we'll get there.
Top 10 for sure. Top 10 for sure. Yes. But anyway, Derrick Henry, listen, I can't, we all know. I don't need to say anything about him. He's a monster. He's the best running back in the NFL. It's not even a question. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's just, padding his stats for Canton at this point.
Yeah. And it wasn't always like this.
No,
it was looking for quite a while. Like, Derrick Henry, what the fuck is going on with Derrick Henry? He's behind DeMarco Murray. He can't outplay DeMarco Murray. Like, what's going on?
DeMarco Murray had some good seasons in Tennessee. He was having some Pro Bowl seasons.
He has a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, he had some Pro Bowl seasons in Tennessee. So it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah. DeMarco Murray, or not fucking DeMarco
Murray. To gush about DeMarco Murray real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm big DeMarco Murray guy. Derrick Henry, like you said, you don't have to say anything. It's just universally known at this point. I hope it's universally known that Derrick Henry is just a beast and the best running back in the league. I don't have anything to say, to be honest. It's universally known.
It's known. Yeah, it's known.
It's known. Even after he got hurt this season, which was really disappointing because we all thought that he was going to rush for 2,000 yards again. And then if Derrick Henry rushed for back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons, is he put into GOAT talks? Is he put into greatest running back of all time talks?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think so.
I think he's put into talks, but it's talks. Yes. So
I still think it's Walter Payton, just because Walter Payton could literally do, Walter Payton was a quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. He could do all of it.
Yeah, between Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith, Eddie Lacy, Barry Sanders, all those guys.
Yeah, don't Eddie Lacy in there. Eddie Lacy in there.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah,
all those guys in an eating contest, and Eddie Lacy will.
Oh, dude, we need Joey Chestnut, Eddie Lacy 1v1.
Oh my God.
4th of July, fucking book it. So just once again going over our squads, and my top 10 list goes like this. Honorable mention in 11th comes AJ Dillon. At 10, I have Javonte Williams. 9, Austin Eckler. 8, Aaron Jones. 7, Alvin Kamara. 6, Joe Mixon. 5, Dalvin Cook. 4, Christian McCaffrey. 5, Christian McCaffrey. 4, Dalvin Cook. 3, Nick Chubb. 2, Jonathan Taylor, and 1, Derrick Henry.
My list went Austin Eckler was my honorable mention, didn't make the list. At 10, I had Leonard Fournette, 9, Ezekiel Elliott, 8, Aaron Jones, 7, Joe Mixon, 6, Alvin Kamara, 5, Dalvin Cook, 4, Jonathan Taylor, 3, Christian McCaffrey, 2, Nick Chubb, and then 1 is Derrick Henry.
At my honorable mention, I also had Austin Eckler. And then at number 10, I just had the Green Bay backfield in general. Number 9, I had Najee Harris, 8, Zeke, 7, C-Max, 6, Kamara, 5, Mixon, 4, JT, 3, Chubb, 2, Dalvin Cook, and 1, Derrick Henry. So
those are looking like some good lists, but I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys about the great Overtime app, the Overtime app where you can do it all. It's like social media meets fantasy, meets everything you would want out of an app. They've been so good to us, and we love working with them. It's a great time. The season has been a blast hosting all of these fantasy pools. We're going to be hosting stuff throughout the off season as well. I mean, college basketball, we got March Madness just a few weeks away, guys. And obviously with the NBA heading into the All-Star break, there's going to be a short break there, but right after, we're right back at it. So yeah, make sure to go download the Overtime app using any of the links in our bios. It'd be greatly appreciated. So the Super Bowl parade, while maybe not as notable last year, they're not throwing Lombardis from boat to boat, which, by the way, what the fuck? How did
it floats? That to happen? It floats.
How
did we floats?
It floats. Does it, it does. They tested
Randy
it.
Moss. Yeah. Randy Moss
threw it in the water.
East River. Yeah.
How? What? Okay.
But they didn't know that at the time. They didn't know that at the time.
Maybe they started like making them float now. Or
why is that? Why is that the most talked about thing with the Lombardi Trophy when Gronk literally used it for batting practice and put a dent in it?
Because
one of the Patriots Lombardi trophies has a dent in it.
It almost sunk to the bottom. What was it? The ocean? Like, I don't know what body.
Yes.
They almost sunk to the bottom. of a body of water.
It's a bay. It's Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Oh, it's Tampa Bay. Who would have thought?
Because the area is called Tampa, Florida, but it's the Bay Area of Tampa. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Bam.
A little too much.
Little knowledge on y'all. I was just down there.
A little geography, real quick.
Yes.
We're learning you something on the podcast.
Damn right.
And Tom Brady was drinking a little bit too much avocado vodka. It looked like Matthew Stafford was doing the same because I don't know if you guys saw his speech that he has, but he was hammered.
Little Southern hospitality.
And listen, after playing in Detroit, so many years, you'd figured he'd be hammered every second of the day at his time there to get through all of those fucking shitty seasons. So, I mean, maybe this is just the Matthew Stafford that we haven't seen that we're so lucky to see now. But there was an incident where I believe him and his wife were standing on the podium. He handed a cell phone, or someone was taking a picture of him. It looked like a woman. I can't remember. I can't find her name right now. But she was a photographer. She was taking a picture of them. She fell off the parade podium. It was a big drop. It must have been like a 9-8 foot drop, just plummet. And she fractured her spine. And if you don't know, a little secret about me, I fractured my spine back in middle school and had to wear a full fucking body brace for 7 months. And that sucked. So I feel for this woman, but clearly Matthew Stafford did not feel for this woman because he saw that shit and turned around quicker than anything I've ever seen before. He wanted nothing to do with that. So just quick thoughts, maybe that was sort of that was a thing that happened.
I mean, hey, in that, you know what, like, we're all human, right? And I am man enough to admit that in that situation, I'm pulling a Matthew Stafford and fucking hitting a 180 and going the other direction. I'm hammered. I'm partying with my teammates. That sucks. I'm sorry. I asked you to take a picture of me. I didn't tell you to fucking step off of the podium, the stage.
What a cynic.
I'm just saying. And they are handling her medical bills, which I feel like is the most that you really can do, right? What was Matthew Stafford going to do? Was he going to go down there and heal her? No. He was going to go enjoy himself. They're handling it after the fact. Hey, he did what he had to do. All right.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I can't disagree. Like, you got to know it's a stage. And like you got to be a little aware there that the stage, you could fall off. So I'm sorry.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. Her name is Kelly Smiley. Kelly Smiley. She wasn't doing a lot of smiling after that, but I'm sorry. I had to do that. I'm so sorry. Yes, she seems like a very nice lady. This is very unfortunate, but good for the Staffords for covering her medical bills. But yeah, in that situation, like, what is he gonna do? Like you said, what is he gonna do? Go down there and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," even though they didn't cause it. Like, there's like, you didn't see this.
If as drunk as he was, he doesn't need to be anywhere near the edge of the stage himself.
And it's funny that he didn't fall off the stage. If a pissed drunk man doesn't fall off the stage and you do, like, come on.
Should have been some guardrails there at least, or something.
Yes,
somebody's probably getting in trouble for that. Is all I'll say. But
yeah.
Also in that parade, Sean McVay said, "Let's run it back." Everybody was drunk, first of all.
Yeah.
So you just have to assume that with all the players. Sean McVay said, started a run it back chant, and Aaron Donald said, "You know what? Let's run it back. Maybe I won't retire at such a young age, and maybe I will grace the NFL with my elite just presence on the field." So it's looking like Aaron Donald will be coming back. Not that really any of us had a doubt in our minds, but now it's confirmed. So let's move on, and I'm going to hand the reins over to Jake as we play a little bit of NFL trivia.
This is going to be fun. I got a board game, ESPN Trivia Night. If you want to go find it, I got it at Target, but it's super fun. I crush my girlfriend in it all the time. She doesn't let me pick football cards anymore. Because they're multiple choice, but most of the questions I didn't even have to know the multiple choice for. I just kind of guessed them before. So anyway,
have you been through all these cards? Or
I have not. I have not. There's a lot of them here, and these aren't even all of them. And there's like 6 on each card. So I have not been through even close to.
Maybe we do like 10 or so.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do some trivia questions here. And I just want to test your knowledge a little bit. We'll start out easy. Okay. So Luke, since you've been going last all podcasts, I'll give you the first opportunity here.
Awesome.
Here we go. How many rushing yards did Lamar Jackson amass in 2019, setting a single season NFL record for a quarterback? Was it 906 yards, 1,006 yards, 1,106 yards, or 1,206 yards?
1,106 yards. Final answer.
That is incorrect. It was 1,206 yards rushing for Lamar Jackson. Right off the bat, Luke is a fake football fan. All right, moving on. Moving on to Gage over here, who became the first player to both throw and catch a touchdown pass in a single Super Bowl game. I'm not giving you the year because it gives it away.
Became the first player to both throw and catch
a touchdown pass in a single Super Bowl game. And I'm not going to give you the options because it'll be obvious.
Was it Nick Foles?
It is Nick Foles. It is Nick Foles. Good job. All right, Luke, chance to redeem yourself here. Which university was named college national champions the most times in the 150 years of awards as of 2020? So which college was named college national championships the most times in the 150 years of awards as of 2020? Now, I will say, don't have recency bias here. You need to go to early 1900s teams.
Alabama. I was thinking like the college football playoff changed. So was it just?
No, it's not. We're going way before college football playoff.
If he doesn't get it, I want to take a crack at it.
Okay, I'm not going to give you options. Okay. Do you want me to give you? I'll give you options. All right. Was it Michigan, Alabama, Notre Dame, or Yale?
It can't be Yale. It can't fucking be Yale.
It's just an option. I don't know why it's on there.
I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
That's incorrect. Gage, you want to give it a chance?
It is Yale.
It is Yale.
It's fucking Yale?
Yep. Most of them are from way back when.
Way back.
None of them are recent.
Yeah. Like 1910s, 1920s.
Yeah.
Yale is now currently a Division I AA school.
Yeah.
Sorry. FCS school. They changed the form. FCS school. All right. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. We got some
quick side note. It was always my dream as a kid to be a math professor at Yale. Definitely did not go that fucking route with my life. But as a kid, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that I wanted to go to Yale, but that did not happen. As I got into high school, I kind of realized that was not going to happen.
Not for us.
All right. Which Buffalo Bills quarterback This is just, I think it's just like both of you shoot in here for questions now, for answers now as I go through these. Which Buffalo Bills quarterback engineered the comeback from a 32-point deficit to beat the Oilers in 1993? Was it Todd Collins, Doug Flutie, Jim Kelly, or Frank Reich?
Frank Reich was a quarterback?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I'm going to go ahead and say Jim Kelly.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Jim Kelly was injured.
Yeah,
I felt that was
I
like
that
was too obvious of an answer.
Yeah, that's
Flutie
why I went ahead.
Oh, fuck it. I'm gonna go with Frank Reich.
It is Frank Reich. There you go.
God.
There you go. Good job.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Oh, this is a great question. Which quarterback threw his first NFL completion to himself? I feel like this, I'm not going to give options because it might be a little obvious if I give options here.
Brett Favre?
It is Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Luke, oh my God, dude.
Listen, I thought it was Aaron Rodgers for a sec because I knew it was one of the Packers quarterbacks. I was like, was it Bart Starr? Was it that five shot?
I think quarterback since then has done it. I don't know. I feel like there's been another one.
Has been too.
I feel like there's been another one.
Being a Brett Favre thing.
Yeah. Like a Jeopardy. They always say like, oh, if you Jeopardy question in 30 years, who did Brett Favre throw his first touchdown at, throw his first completion to? All right. Here we go. Let's
remember Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
The Chiefs. Yeah. That was
sick. All right. Let's see here. What we got? All right. Which of these NFL Hall of Fame players did not begin his career in the newly revitalized USFL? Was it Jim Kelly, Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, or Steve Young? So this is which of these Hall of Fame players did not begin their career in the USFL? Mm-hmm. Jim Kelly, Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, or Steve Young?
Steve Young.
Nope.
I'm going to go LT.
That is correct. It is Lawrence Taylor. The USFL was like really pulling these guys away. The fact that we were going to get Reggie White, Jim Kelly, and Steve Young, like that's pretty damn impressive. All right.
When does it start up?
It starts up. It's spring football again. They keep trying spring football, and they keep thinking that one of them.
What was that one league that wasn't the XFL? That was
AAF. Yeah, the Alliance. As soon as they called it the Alliance of American Football, I was like, "This shit ain't lasting." Like, come on.
There were only like 4 teams, right?
Yeah. No, there were a couple. There were like 8.
It was like, 8. 6 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I just remember the Birmingham Iron was the team that I think. The Orlando Apollos, I think, won it. I don't know. Memphis Express.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them.
Yeah, the Atlanta did something. I don't fucking know. All right. What we got here? Let's go to like the middle here. That's easy. Oh, that's pretty. Did not age well. This one with Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs. I literally
know. All right. Ooh, no. Oh, okay. Which Tampa Bay defender sealed the 2003 NFC Championship over the Philadelphia Eagles with a 92-yard pick six? Was it Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp, Brian Kelly, or Rondé Barber?
I was gonna say Derek Brooks, to be honest.
My first thought was Rondé Barber, so I'm gonna go with Rondé Barber.
Rondé Barber is in fact correct. Yeah. All right, couple more here.
Was that the same year that he like smashed his finger or whatever?
I don't know. I watched the Super Bowl documentary of that team, and I can't remember. I can't remember if he did. All right. Who threw the 70-yard mile-high miracle pass late in the 2013 playoff game to help defeat the Denver Broncos? I'm not giving choices.
Yeah, don't tell us. Oh shit. Was it Kyle Orton?
No. It's not.
Wait.
They were not on the. They were not on the Broncos.
It was Tim Tebow. Wait.
No.
I'm going to read this again.
I'm confused.
To defeat
the Broncos.
Oh shit.
Who threw the 70-yard mile-high miracle pass late in the 2013 playoff game to help defeat
Joe Flacco?
Yes. Oh, why? Because
Because I thought for some reason, I don't even know the name of the receiver that caught that for Denver. Not the Demaryius Thomas one, but the
Jacoby
other one,
Jones.
Stokely. Brandon
Who?
Stokely.
No, Jacoby Jones. Jacoby Jones.
No.
No,
I'm talking about another.
Whatever
Okay.
he's thinking of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about, Jake. Jacoby Jones went off that year, but like didn't do anything else.
I would always pick him up in Madden.
Yeah. He was fast as hell. He was like
he was always a free agent too.
Yeah. Who was the first Jacksonville Jaguar running back to run for more than 10,000 career yards? Not giving options.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
It was not MJD.
It was what is his name? You talked about him in your things you hate about the Jaguars video.
I did.
What is his name? Oh, I can't think of it.
I'll give it to you. You know it, Fred Taylor.
Yeah,
because he knew.
Okay.
I knew it started with
Fred
an F,
Taylor.
but I couldn't remember his name.
Forgettable player, to be honest.
Yeah, which is sad because he was honestly one of the best players.
He was great. He was really good.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a good one. This one I don't even know. Which receiver in 2015 became the first non-running back to lead the NFL in yards from scrimmage since 1969? I think this is a good one to end on because this is a very difficult question. So which receiver in 2015 became the first non-running back to lead the NFL in yards from scrimmage since 1960? You don't want options? Because I think even the options wouldn't make it easier.
I kind of want to guess and then maybe give us options.
Okay. All right.
I'll let Luke guess. I just want
options. It was 2015. Just remember that. 2015.
Was it Ted Ginn?
Hell no.
No, that's yards per reception. Okay,
yeah.
I got that confused.
Again.
Ted fucking Ginn. I have some wild answers tonight. Julio. It wouldn't be Julio.
Did you just guess Julio?
Yeah.
It is Julio.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
that
Julio
was his,
Jones.
1,800 yard season.
I wouldn't even have remembered that. I had no idea what the Atlanta Falcons are just so forgettable of a team that I just
everything they do.
Literally.
Yeah. Let me see if I which kick returner became the first special teams player to ever be named Super Bowl MVP? This is interesting.
Desmond Howard.
All right, yeah, because it was for the Packers, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're just gonna. All right, wait.
Last one. Let's go one more.
All right, one more. Which team won a record-setting 23 straight regular season games? Should I give you the year? I don't want to give you the year.
23 straight regular season games.
Was it
Patriots?
Not the Patriots.
Was it the Packers?
Not the Packers.
23 straight.
I know the Bucks probably lost 23 straight. Probably more than that.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Incorrect. I can't give you options at this point because you narrowed down all.
Is it in the are they in the 2000s? Were they in the 2000s?
Yeah, 2008, 2009 was the years.
That's Patriots. 20. The Colts?
It was the Peyton Manning led Indianapolis Colts.
That makes sense.
Yes,
I thought for a second it was that Packers year when they went 15-1, 2011. So,
yes.
Okay.
I don't know, just some fun trivia there to end the podcast on.
Something different.
Good.
Yeah.
I like that. That was awesome. We got to do that more often. But
yeah,
that of course is the end of this episode. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to leave us a rating and review. It would be greatly appreciated. 5-star. You already know the drill. I'm going to lead off with Gage. Is there anything you guys want to, say at the end here?
If you are not following us on our socials, be sure to do that. I am Extra Points. Jake is Jake_Maltese3. Luke is Football Fan Zone. So be sure to follow all of us there, and then follow all of our Totally Unqualified accounts as well. Elspeth runs our Instagram account, and he does a fantastic job with that. Jake has been tweeting like crazy, so keep an eye out for those things if you want to check out some Knicks rants or anything like that. But yeah, just follow us anywhere you can.
Speaking of Knicks rants, make sure to go to subscribe to us on YouTube, where I just posted my latest Knicks rant in a new segment that we are calling Rant Time. So go check that out. Yeah, go check that out. I put my heart and soul into that one. So it's pretty. I would like to think it was a pretty funny one.
Flaming hot Cheetos during.
Yeah, that I would recommend. Don't do that. Yeah, not
You'll find
not
out why
recommended.
if you listen to it.
Yeah, not recommended. But yeah, make sure to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go follow us on all of our social medias, like Gage just said, and make sure to download the Overtime app, guys.
Yep.
Luke said it all earlier in the episode. We've had a blast working with Overtime. Honestly, one of the best companies out there, and
Absolutely.
just an awesome app. They're doing great things. They always collaborate with creators like us to ask how they can make it better, and they honestly. It's for sports fans by sports fans. Like they really are trying to emphasize that. And it's just an awesome app and it gets better with every single update. Yeah. So be sure to go use the links in our bios to download that.
Absolutely. And that's going to wrap up the episode. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.